keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on.
My Straight Talk family, it's 5 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour, and I've decided that we will wait no longer, and we'll start our Straight Talk program tonight with or without the radio feed, because for some reason ZIZ has chose to play a broadcast of someone when we should in fact be streaming Straight Talk. And for those of you who are joining me for the first time, Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, we do have a forum to express yourselves freely. Let's in the process continue to keep St. Kitts and Nevis as one of the freest countries in the entire world. On this program, we try to raise the level of national consciousness. We try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liburd, and I give Almighty God thanks for blessing me with yet another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And if you are joining us for the first time, remember Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I mean we include your calls, we include your emails, and if you're so minded to call, the numbers are 869-663-6672 and or 646-829-6672. And my Straight Talk family, lots of news are swirling in the air. And what I call it's decision time. It's decision time, my Straight Talk family. And I believe we'll all agree that there always comes a time in our lives when we all must make an important decision. So too in our country. In our country as well, there always comes a time at which an important decision must be taken by our leaders in the country. And for the last several months or more, all sorts of rumors abound in our beloved land of St. Kitts and Nevis. And most of these rumors are being peddled by two misleaders, in particular Sean Richards and Mark Brantley, from whom I am sure that we all expected much better. Through it all, though, we must commend Prime Minister Harris, who has remained focused. Prime Minister Harris has remained focused all along, my Straight Talk family. Much propaganda and baseless rumors have been spread around the world that Prime Minister Harris wanted to take the election date beyond 90 days. I told a friend of mine when he contacted me that the Timothy that I know would never go beyond the 90-day stipulation within our Constitution. True to form, and in response to the baseless rumors and senseless propaganda from many oppositionists who just cannot come to grips with how Harris gets it done, he rightly asks, why would I take 90 days when I can get 5 years? That's what the Prime Minister asks the country.
They have been spread. Harris looking for 90 more days. Tell them me no need that. I have the love and support of the people. They all walk like a champion, talk like a champion. They all walk like a champion, talk like a champion. I am the champion of the people, and the people are my champion. They will give me 5 more years. So when I am going to get 5 years, why would I go ask for 90 days? No make no sense. No make no sense.
And it really makes no sense, because if Prime Minister Harris is so confident, is so certain that he will get 5 years, why would he ask to extend and violate the Constitution and extend the period of this waiting for elections, I call it, for 90 more days? And what does the St. Kitts Nevis Constitution really tell us about the holding of elections? And this is what the Constitution states.
The truth is, general elections of members of the National Assembly shall be held at such time within 90 days after the dissolution of Parliament as the Governor General may appoint.
And the Constitution is very clear. And this is the sequence of events that have occurred since our dissolution of the Parliament.
10th of May, I told the Governor General dissolve the Parliament. When 90 days not come yet, what make them a behave so? What make them a march about so? These people are ready for prime time. The bell will only be rung when I am ready. When I am ready, it will be rung loud and clear. Or you have to wait until the leader, until the prime minister says it is time to go. Yeah. If the race has been too long for you, well, just get out of the race. You're still not going to win.
Well, my Straight Talk family, if you're tired of waiting, according to the Prime Minister, get out the race. But it's now decision time. Time to make a clear and critical choice between Douglas Labour and the People's Action Movement.
And so, with a heart of gratitude, I now, in the name of democracy, in the name of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, declare the date, the big date, for the re-election of the People's Labour Party. Thank you, thank you. In your name, of all democracy lovers, I now declare that I have advised His Excellency, the Governor General, earlier this week, that he should prepare for us to go to general elections in St. Kitts and Nevis on Friday the 5th of August 2023.
Rumble.
are ready. We are ready to govern again. We are ready to deliver the stronger, safer, and more secure. My team is ready.
We're ready with the speaker. We're ready with the amplifier. We're ready with the players.
One other important date. We have set Tuesday, the 26th of July, as nomination day. Tuesday, 26th July, nomination day. And the 5th August, election day. The People's Labour Party shall return victorious to continue the wonderful job on your behalf. God bless you. I love you. I love you.
My Straight Talk family, the 5th day of August 2022 is decision time for the voters of St. Kitts and Nevis when they go to the polls. In the name of democracy, this is what Prime Minister Harris declared on Sunday, 17th August, in his hometown in Tabernacle, just last night, to be exact. It was a real festive mood in Tabernacle. I was not only a witness, but also a participant as well. And I used this opportunity to remind everyone that the upcoming election, as premature as it is, it will be recorded as the most important election ever called in this country since universal adult suffrage was declared in our blessed land in 1952. It is important to note because back in 1952, some of us were just born, some of us were not yet born, and some of us may not even recognize before that we had no right to vote. And as of 1952, we as a people were given that right and that entitlement to vote in an election to select a government that we consider fit enough to represent us. And every government must have a leader. It's like a ship, and called St. Kitts Nevis the ship of state. And every ship needs a captain. And by now, we all must have already made up our minds, or made up in our minds, in terms of who is the best captain available to navigate this ship, or who is the best political leader to guide us through the political, economic, and social storms, or put simply, to guide us through the difficult times that lie ahead. My people, while we should not drive a car in the rearview mirror, sometimes we must look back in order to realize where we came from, to establish where we are, and to determine where do we want to go. So let us reflect for a moment and look back to 2013, when our public debt to GDP was the highest in the world. When confronted with the facts, our then leader, who had no solutions, could only insult us. Remember what he said about the public debt, after which he ran to the IMF for a bailout. Crime and violence were rampant in the land, And I get no comfort in reminding us that St. Kitts Nevis was labeled the murder capital of the world. Then we the people decided in 2014 that enough was enough, and we needed a united group to lead this country. Then a government of national unity was born in 2015, and a new dynamic leader and prime minister called Dr. the Honorable Timothy Sylvester Harris emerged. And oh, what a salvation that came over our beloved land. Milk and honey started to flow. Prime Minister Harris paid off the IMF debt of $117 million inherited from the Douglas Labour Party. Prime Minister Harris recovered 800 acres of our land that Dougie swapped for the debt he owed National Bank. Prime Minister Harris paid a double salary for the last 5 consecutive years to all civil servants and those in the public corporations. Under Prime Minister Harris, over 3,000 families got their roofs repaired, which I gather PLP will continue in its next term. In the next 2 weeks, we just learned, the non-established workers, then called auxiliary employees, will now receive their pension retroactive to 2012, as of 2012. And all the workers, you hear them say Harris again, because Douglas promised that some 15 years ago in 2007. Drew and Douglas Labour plan to end the PAP. But Harris, we understand, plans to blend the PAP with more dollars. And so many people are appreciating the poverty, or being part of the poverty alleviation program, as we call it, the PAP. And I heard this one lady made mention of the PAP when she said this.
The $500 we are getting now from the PAP, it's so helpful. It comes in so handy. $500 we are getting now from the PAP thing, it is so helpful. I wish they could triple it up. It's so helpful. It comes in so handy.
And that lady said she wished they would triple it up. And that's a lady from my own constituency, believe it or not. But while Drew and Douglas and the Labour Party plan to end the PAP, Harris must blend the PAP. He promised to blend the PAP. The lady say it can double up or triple up. We don't know what will be the end come the 1st of September. But that's what we call leadership that matters. In Timothy Harris, the poor man in St. Kitts Nevis has found a friend. The poor man has found a friend. And I said like the psalmist, blessed is he that considers or considereth the poor. My people, there is no comparison with Timothy Harris, our accomplished leader. No comparison you can find in this country. They vilify him every single day. Their insidious attempts at his personal destruction will never cease, it seems. But the man is good. He's tried and tested. I shudder to think of a Sean Richards and or a Mark Brantley at the helm of our country. And I dare say, God forbid if that happens, because St. Kitts and Nevis will become the Sodom and Gomorrah of modern times. Evil will befall us. Evil will be all around us in all sectors of our population, in every strata of society, as a result of their lies and their corruption. I shudder to think about their lack of support for the peace initiative. which will return us to those dark days of crime and violence we experienced under the Douglas Labour Party. From an all-time high of 35 homicides under the Douglas Labour Party, under a Harris-led government, after 7 months in 2022, the police have reported 5 homicides. Keep our fingers crossed they remain that way till the end, the next 5 more months. Prime Minister Harris, Commissioner Brandy and his men and women, Major Comrie and his soldiers must all be commended. That's what I mean when I say that leadership matters. Unlike Sean Richards, who cannot account for his stewardship, who bankrupts Kellec in under 2 years as minister with responsibility for public utilities, I left $31 million in the reserve funds of Kellec. Where that money gone is what I ask. How did his friend at Delta manage to get a 3-year contract for the supply of fuel when the government is still a signatory to the Petro-Carib Agreement and owes the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela $16 million US? Does one man, Sean Richards, or a chairman for board, Don Boncampo, or a general manager in Jomo Williams, who has that authority to discard a Petro-Carib agreement signed government to government? For 9, 12 or 13 years ago, who has this authority to discard that agreement? That needs a thorough investigation. Who has the authority to award a contract for fuel for 3 years without a public tender? That has to be investigated. Where are the 25 lights for the Old Road Bay project? And as I said before, I'll say again, jail in this. Sean Richards, I ask you, my people, and I know you've said to me, he could never make a good prime minister in this country. Mark Brantley was. Mark Brantley cannot manage his little Nevis. How can he manage St. Kitts and Nevis? All he has done for the last 5 years as premier is to present deficit budgets each time in the red. The last one in 2021 for the fiscal year 2022. He presented a $98 million deficit budget. Yes, he forecast recurrent expenditure in the amount of $229 million, of which $189 million was recurrent. Recurrent means he has to pay his civil servants. He can't pay them. He has to pay for his overheads. And he only forecasts $139 million in revenue. Thank God for the $45 or $46 million from the federal government to augment his budget, which still left him with a deficit of $58 million. Deficit budget for 5 consecutive years. Terence Drew, he has no experience. People said he's inexperienced. In fact, Drew has no experience, absolutely no experience in managing anything that I know of. If you know of something he managed, then let me know. As far as I know, Drew has no experience whatsoever. Janice Daniel Hodge has no ambition to become Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis. She wants to build, instead, a good relationship between St. Kitts and Nevis. Also, to rebuild the Nevis economy that Mark Brantley has put into the toilet. To ensure strong government, Prime Minister Harris has put together a formidable team of capable representatives from every constituency. It is called the Dream Team. Of number 2, number 3, number 5, number 6, number 8, and number 1. And in number 7, he's unopposed. And what is very, very instructive of the Dream Team, every single member was born and still lives in the constituency in which they are contesting. I have worked in cabinet and the parliament with Prime Minister Harris, and simply put, he is the best. None of us are perfect, and the only perfect being to walk the face of this earth is Jesus Christ. Do you like how the country is running? Is a question I ask. Is the country running good? Then if so, we cannot change the leadership. We cannot gamble at this time, a time that there's so much complexity, there's so much unpredictability, and there's so much uncertainty. How can we gamble with another leader besides Timothy Harris? And Harris has done well. He has done well. And one thing he has done is to confuse the opposition. He has confused the opposition day in, day out. So confused that one opposition member had this to say about his own symbol, my Street Dog family.
So I want to say to you tonight, the good people of West Bank, I am here and I am here to serve you. So please, please on election day, no matter what you do, at least make sure that you go to the polls and you put your X in the box by the hand next to Calvin Milo Freeman.
Well, he's either confused or afraid. Haven't heard the announcement for the general election in St. Kitts. He now has changed his symbol, Calvin Milo Freeman, from the hat to the hand. Strange but true. Another member who keeps fighting Harris said this as well about his termination.
Oh, you want to get me in trouble? Listen, I don't get fired once for the year. You want to get me fired twice?
Yes, he got fired on May the 10th. And now he's going to be fired on August the 5th. Yes, he's going to be fired twice. And my Straight Dog family, no wonder he starts singing. He starts singing his song. I never knew he could sing. But they say force make water go uphill, as they say. So he too has now become a big singer. A big singer is he. My Straight Dog family, you would not believe. You would not believe, my Straight Dog family. I'm trying to find that nice release. Must hit the top 10, surely.
God bless Timothy. 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 God bless Timothy.
And that has hit the top 10. It's moving up the charts on Straight Talk tonight. But my Straight Dog family, we have to ensure that our future is secure. And PLP is broad-based and welcomes all.
Yes, we will be a broad-based, inclusive government in which traditional Palm supporters will find their place and find a welcoming home. We will be a broad, inclusive government in which Douglas Labour people can truly come and work and find love and support as they help us build the government. And of course, we will never forget those of you who started with us, who traveled with us, who came to every meeting and gave us support. You too shall find a place of favor and support from the new People's Labour Party government. So I say thanks to the PAM supporters, former PAM supporters, who said they're done with that. They come to this with the People's Labour Party.
Yes, my Straight Dog family, PLP welcomes all. That's my story for tonight, and I am not going to change it. I'll open the lines and hear from you, my Straight Dog family. Tell me if you believe that the country is running good, or how is the country running, I should ask you. Is it running good? This is one of the questions I ask. The date has been announced, and we will go to the lines. But before I do so, before I entertain your calls, my Straight Dog family, I want to implore you, please, respect others, and of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned, and let us try to ensure that the things we say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. And in saying and doing those things, let us try to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. With that said, I go to the lines. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Good night. Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Patches. Good night,
good night, sir.
Fellow citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. As we are now, and was waiting for the date of election, it has brought upon us now. Now, Mr. Patches, I heard you mention something that concerned me, and it bothers me. The issue that you said about Sodom and Gomorrah will be infested in St. Kitts if PAM wins. Is it a fact that, as we call it traditionally, the leader of the People's Action Movement is gay, anti-man, or faggot, that will pollute the place? And another thing.
Sodom and Gomorrah, according to the Bible story, so it refers to two countries, and evil befell those countries, if you follow your Bible story.
So, in respect to that line, does that mean that
it means that evil will befall the country? Evil will be all around us, in all sectors of our population, because of the lies and corruption. That's what happened in those cities.
All right. The other question is, well, the saying, the gossip is about the Prime Minister also. So, I mean, all have sins. And I am bothered and I am troubled should such a thing happen, because I personally believe that Sodom and Gomorrah should be abolished and obliviate. That's my opinion. But moving forward.
Now, but again, just to be clear, the Sodom and Gomorrah I referred to were two legendary biblical cities destroyed by God for their wickedness. Right?
Yes.
And if you follow this story, right, if I am not too versed on my Bible, right, but it parallels, as I think was the Genesis flood, in the theme of God's anger, which was provoked by man's sin. And keep it in that context for me, my dear brother.
Okay. I will respect that.
Thank you, sir.
But anyway, moving forward, in respect to the manifesto of each party, I haven't heard the actual effectiveness that will affect the citizens of St. Kitts. I mean, everyone needs money. Everyone needs money, but there are some fundamental things that being left out.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but have they released their manifesto? I'm not aware of any parties releasing their manifesto.
Well, like I said, I haven't seen a written manifesto,
Well,
but I've heard.
no party has released a manifesto that I know.
Well, I've heard manifestos has.
You have heard
I've
that?
heard that manifesto. I've heard manifestos has been released.
Well, I'm not aware of
And
that. I'm not aware of that. I don't think that is correct. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Even with the campaign, even through the campaign, let me just mention, I haven't heard the effective things that really needed for the people, the citizens of St. Kitts. And a lot has been left out. Most is money, double pay, etc. and etc. But there are additional things which it's too long for me to mention. But I believe the government should be, whosoever the government win this election, they should have an open discussion with the citizens, because you only know what I need if I tell you what I need. To determine what you think I need, I think that is a one-sided thing. And the government have to be transparent and more interactive with each and every individual. Or if someone could have a voice for someone. I have a lot of concerns. And I will try to address some of these things moving forward. But the truth will be told, the victorious one will rise on the 5th of August. I will yield for someone else to come in. I have 2 more calls. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your input, my dear brother. And I think that's what canvassing is all about. When the candidates go out to different constituency and to canvass the votes of constituents, then they ask of the things that are of concern to them. Caller, you are live. I want to thank you for holding.
Good evening, Patrick. How are you doing this evening, sir?
I am peaceful, my brother. Yourself?
Great. Hope all is well.
Well, God's been good to me, and God's been good to all of us.
Yeah, see that, yeah. Okay. Patrick, St. Kitts and Nevis is a dysfunctional place. The men have become, like today I was in and the men just talking like little girls. Talking like little, listen, the people have abandoned their families. And this is why we're going to have to have Harris here. Harris loves people, and we're going to have to help the people of St. Kitts. And I'm going to explain something that happened, and it has blown me away. Okay? The people have abandoned their family. I don't know, because they get more successful, where money and consumerism have destroyed St. Kitts and Nevis. I went to see a friend Saturday. He's living in Liburd. And Cassius, his brother let me in the house, because his brother looked taking care of my younger brother. And the guy couldn't recall my name. And this sickness started under the Douglas Massey Labour Party. This sickness of our people. Cassius is terrible. And St. Kitts and Nevis has gotten sicker and sicker. The people, I was in the bank, and the people, the men get all rasted, just yapping off, loud mouthing. No, why do these people think Harris? I don't know. It's the green-eyed monster. Why are they it's jealousy? Why are they like this man? What has this man done to them? What good for St. Kitts? He saves St. Kitts and Nevis from another Haiti. But the people in St. Kitts, they have abandoned their family. So Patrick, let me explain to you. So I asked the guy, he couldn't even recall my name. We grew up on the same street, and he's a relatively young guy. And he couldn't recall. His hair is going up to the roof. His beard is dropping down to his chest. And he goes to the Moravian. Well, he don't go to church. He can't. He's locked up in a room. And so I wonder what's going on. But I know the Moravian look out for each other. So this man, he lives up College Street, God. He looked for him, so I went and found the man. And I said, somebody said he was I said, why is he living like this? He says, so Patrick, I got up Sunday morning and I couldn't think. I went to PDC and these places trying to get him a shaver and a radio, because he's in a little room locked up and nothing. But they were all closed. This morning I got up again, couldn't go back to sleep. I went and I went to the Caribana, I got him a razor. Spent $125 for a razor in Caribana. Then I went down in Port Zanti. I got him a radio. I got the guy $400, one of the Indian guys did. And I went back this afternoon. The man told me he was going back there and make sure that he stayed and got a haircut. This guy, I understand. I don't know. Somebody say he had a body shop in Lansing and Sam moved him off of it. I don't know about Sam. I can't blame. I can't verify that. I trust Sam to get to the check, man. Sam and I don't have a problem, but he allowed himself to think. But anyhow, I'm saying the people have gotten sicker and sicker. They don't believe in no God. One man believes in a God in all these classes is Harris. He believes in a God. He's a people person. I mean, Patrick, I can't believe what's that. The guy's relatively young. He's not an old man.
Okay.
Please excuse me, I can't recall my name. So today I went back, I took back the stuff and had his hair cut.
Okay.
And his hair is cut now. But what I'm saying, the family, there's a place in Sandy Point. Sandy Point have a few nursing homes. The people, one woman and a sister were locked up in a dark room. I went in like I had to run back out. Patrick, Sinkis is a mess. Let me explain to you. No, let me finish up, Patrick.
Please,
so I got the man here cut. But what I'm saying, the family, the people, what I'm saying, the Douglas Master Labour Party have destroyed Sinkis. And frankly, like I just said, he cannot manage Nevis. So what is he going to manage? The Lawyer Party, the Liars Party, we can't put them in there. And we hear about Sean. It's a shame. But let me finish up, Patrick. One more thing. Yeah. The people in Sinkis have gone sick. Women, and I told you all, once the women go down, the country gonna go down. And our women have gone to the dogs, so the country has gone down. Listen to me. The Labour Party, they don't believe in a God.
Okay, gotcha.
There is apostasy. That is what the unlike Harris who believes in a God.
Okay,
so
brother.
Good luck. I didn't know there was going to be election. If somebody from New York told me there's going to be election, I don't follow it. But let me tell you, Harris gets everything straightened out, and he's the only man who I see there in the country right now. So good luck to him, and all the best. Okay? All the best. He has the gravity.
Okay, my brother.
Okay, good luck to you guys, and Patrick, you got to be there with Harry taking around, okay? All the best. And Sinkis needs and Nevis needs straightening out. They have abandoned their family. Have a good evening, Patrick.
Have a good evening as well, my dear brother. I'm never out of words. We want to guide us in terms of the time. I know we want to make our points, but let's try to be as succinct as possible. Caller, I want to thank you for holding you alive. Hello, caller. Are you there, caller?
Greetings in the name of our great African ancestors, especially the most honorable Marcus Messiah Gabriel Queen and Zingan in the spirit of the great Elder Washi, George Washington Archibald. Blessed evening, my beloved African brother. How are you and the family? Long time, beloved. Long time I haven't called, long time I haven't listened. All is well?
Peaceful, my brother. I wondered for a moment if all was well with you, but I'm good. Yourself and your family?
Yes, man. Yes, brother. Okay. All is well, man. But in this mucky time, brother, my heart grieves, but we got to move on, and we have a best person, beloved, at this time to run things in Sinkis Nevis again. And I said that, beloved brother, and I stand by that. Timothy Sylvester Harris is the best person at this present time to manage the political affairs of St. Kitts Nevis. And who want to bark, squeak, or quack like a duck, that's their problem. That's what Brother Nabu said. And he have the best slate of candidates, beloved. Young, dynamic, visionary, intelligent people, and a country around good still, beloved. Sometimes that's so weird. What was I not here? God, I ain't hear nobody saying anything, this and this, go below now, whether the country run good. And I know when election is called, beloved, I call on the people of St. Kitts Nevis, Liam Megan Uwali to vote for the PLP and up in Nevis, the NRP. Brother man, you'll always be my brother. Brother son, you'll always be my brother. But this time, it's Dr. Harris' time. He must finish the job, calling our people, especially young people. It's your time now. You're the future leaders of Liamiga and Uwali, and you must do the right thing on August 5th and vote for all candidates of the PLP and Liamiga, and for the candidates in Nevis, let me take back that, Uwali, for the NRP. But I will stand by that, beloved. And I'm speaking as a person who supported PAM for 52 long years, since I was 10 years. Influence of the great Dr. William Herbert, Valentine Herbert, a.k.a. Billy Herbert, one of the greatest minds out of the Caribbean, beloved. Because of him and my cousin Elder Kids and others in Dr. Simmons too, beloved. But this group of PAM, beloved, especially those two guys, the one from number 2 and number 4, everybody know their name. Ain't gonna call their name, give them no credence. Should be ashamed of themselves. But let them there, you know what I mean, at the foot of the hill, beloved brother, and my beloved people. And let me say something to Brother Mark Williams. Brother Mark Williams, number 6 have been in the hell hole, brother. And Dr. House, let me talk to you too, beloved. This time, I advocate. This time, things must be done over there, Dr. Harris. And Brother Mark, you got to be fearless and advocate for number 6, man. Look at number 6.
Okay.
That clown who been, give me just 30 seconds, brother. That clown who been the misrepresentative for 30-something years, masquerading as the Prime Minister for 20 torturous years. And look at constituency 6. My beloved sisters and brothers over there, come on, do the right thing this time. Cut that umbilical cord that your grandparents have been voting for, that guy Bratcher Party and that guy from St. Paul's Party for years. Cut the nonsense, man. This time, you got to vote for the candidate of the PLP. Brother, thanks again for hearing me. And you're going to be hearing me, man, until election and after election, because I know Dr. Harris will become the Prime Minister again. Brother, thanks again for hearing me. Keep up the great work. Pan-Africanism and perish. One love, my beloved brother.
One love, my brother. Thanks a lot. Sound words that cannot be condemned. After you said supporting PAM for 52 years, you've seen wisdom in going with PLP. Caller, I want to thank you for holding. You are live. Hello, caller.
That is good night.
Mr. Politics.
That is good night.
Good night, Mr. Politics. How art thou?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. I'm hanging in as usual. Brother Rabu, good night, Brother Rabu. You're strong, we're strong. PLP strong, man. PLP strong. We don't get there. At his first, I always want to thank God for life. Thank God for the Federation of Think It and Nevis, a country we are born into and living to up to now. I'm doing well for myself and others who struggling a bit. I can maybe contribute something to them, like the school inform me. And other different parts and institutions who really want help. Now, Patrick, I just want to do something and thank the Honorable Prime Minister. I want to commend him for that massive rally over there in his constituency. I believe the people ready. The people ready, like Freddie. And they're going to have another choice to go forward with a unity government. Because this PLP government, it come because of divine intervention. Everybody know how this PLP government, with this PLP party comes. I mean, not PLP government, the PLP party come. And he come to three party come together. Going to a general election 2016. But a lot of grudge and evil was in it. With the man them who Dr. Harris was going into. They only used Dr. Harris to get in there because they know that Pam was in difficulties. They could not win no government, but join up with any other political party. And Dr. Harris has done well. Dr. Harris, 2015, he worked in all constituency them to help this unity government to form. 2020, the same thing. And after 2 years after 2020 election, you find all kind of things start to say. But what is, make a long story short, I want all those who criticizing that House as a PLP party and different ways of talk show, people like the Grey After fans, people like the Carlton below board defense, people like the Big Lois, people like the Craig Webster, and all the others who come in here and criticize the coaches and all of them. Let them continue. Because the mother talk, the stronger Dr. Harris get and the stronger PLP get. You understand? PLP getting 10 times stronger. So I believe that they're doing good when they talk. And what they're doing to Dr. Harris. I think we said 98% literate. And the people think it now that what Dr. Harris created in this country, especially with these young men, they do well under the farm administration. The farm was a cemetery. A cemetery under the farm administration, and what the old people were doing. There was no pandemic. A young man taking up gun and killing one another. And you know the family say? Man, me not say that kill himself. What the water come up and the backless by one. Me I take no responsibility for that.
Okay.
But that's how it's a brilliant idea and a brilliant point. That this man from Jamaica, Peter Sanders and English Metal and others to form a committee and get these young men together. And what is your man be now? They're out there. Some of them the own and chop and all. Some of them on the piece. And that is it will improve. It will improve. So do you happen? Carlton Licky Board can all continue the election till the coming of the election.
Okay.
Because you are doing more harm and more danger to the country, but you are doing nothing to Dr. Harris because the people are ignoring you.
Okay.
But it's a wonderful night. God bless and keep you. If I get back, I get back.
God bless you as well, my dear brother. We go back to the lines. I want to thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much.
Yes.
There is a candidate that being nominated to run in PAM in number 3. I think his name is Milo Freeman. I just want to put this out there. Mr. Milo Freeman is not a man to have confidence in. He is just a bag of wind, a man that make promises, and promises are comfort for fools. And I'm going to judge him because I had a run into him at Port and Custom. And if he handled a situation like that, would he be trustworthy to be a minister in the government, a liar, a bag of wind of promises, and can't get what should be done? I am asking all the people in constituency 3, if I'm correct, do not vote for that man. He is not a man to be trusted. He just wants a seat, he just wants a power, and that's it. Okay. He is not a helping man. That's my view. So I don't need anyone, not even one vote. I prefer somebody from Labour or somebody from PLP. But I am neither PAM, Labour, PLP, CCM,
or NRP.
Okay.
But Milo, that will be it. Thanks for trying.
Okay. Thank you very much. And we go straight back to the lines. I want to thank this caller for holding caller you live. Is the country running good under Timothy Harris?
Thank you, Dr. Ian Patrick Liburd.
My dear brother, how about thou?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Let me answer the question before I forget. Country running, just like the t-shirt that has 3 large X's on it. X, the country running good, and the greatest. And the Dr. Timothy Harris are the leader of the country. So that's the answer to the first question. That is, I want the people in St. Kitts to understand. Let me turn on the radio because it comes like echoing back. I want them to understand clearly that the best political party.
You turn the radio down or you put it on? Because again, the feedback.
Turn it off.
Okay.
Turn it off, eh?
Okay, go ahead, my brother.
Yeah. The best political party to vote for in this election is PLP. Because when you look at the foundation members of what used to be PAM, all of them move over from there. And if they never see something bad going on there and something good on the other side, which is PLP, they would not move from where they were. And they come out playing out and they let the whole world know who they are. And that's the reason why they're over there where they are. So they could, them on the side they were talking about PAM, they could forget it. I am coming to that. But listen this here. Patches, I want people to go on YouTube and hear the voice of one of the former leader from St. Paul's saying, with an interview saying that the CBI money is not the government money. It is a private company money. CBI, the way that private company in Nigeria, by some children mother, it got to be that. The CBI thing is by citizenship, whether by passport or whatever it is, and passport involved in that. So I want the people to go on YouTube and they're going to find that. Now I hear the leader for what used to be PAM, Sean, this evening on the radio, saying that Dr. Harris was forced to call election. I want to tell Sean this. Dr. Harris is so far ahead, hear me, with good governance, with pulling the country out of the economic slums, saving the country from hitting an economic iceberg in the pandemic and before the pandemic and after the pandemic. So when you going to talk about Dr. Harris was forced to call election, Dr. Harris still, he has time. He could have run out the full time and a call election. But the country need to move on. There are people out here, we want to see the country step up. Like it's stepping up every week, every day. Look at the high school. The high school has started. Sean. So he didn't have to call an election where he could have gone right out. So I want to tell Sean, when Dr. Harris say use the word, he do not mean that you bad mom when you go mom when you can't come better. You're a sensible man. But is your work, your action, you let somebody else who do not know to run a country, who do not know to balance a budget. So anybody who believe that they're better than you and you know better and you let them fool you can't run away from the word that Dr. Harris used. But he did not do it the way. It doesn't mean to tell you use the senses. Country will be good. And I'm glad that everybody could observe and see for themselves. Look at the crowd of supporters yesterday over Tabernacle. Anyway, Patrick, I'll come back with something else because I don't want to take up too much time because I have to talk about the money from Libya and the contract that was signed down La Valley with the Gulf Coast. So all of them who signed contract down La Valley, come and talk about that because that money there has to give an account for. Thank you, Patrick. I'll be back.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. Yes, just in the event you have just joined us, in the event you are not aware, yesterday or last evening, Prime Minister Harris announced the election date as August the 5th and the nomination day July 26th. That's next week. Is it next week, Tuesday? And we go to the polls. We go to the polls on August the 5th. And I'm sure you'll be asking yourselves right now, who is the best captain available? Or you may have already made up your minds, I dare say. And who is the best captain available to navigate this ship? Or who is the best political leader to guide us through the political, economic, and social storms? Or as I put it simply, to guide us through these difficult times that lie ahead. Caller, you are live. Thank you for holding.
Hello, good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, Ambassador. How are you?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
I'm very peaceful, Ambassador. I want to answer the question in the affirmative that the only man who can steer this ship is Dr. the Honorable Timothy Sylvester Harris. And he has shown over the 7 years that his ability with fiscal management and fiscal prudence, that he is able to get the job done. You raised a point early on that I have been asking for a long time and nobody seemingly can answer. How is it that at Skelec moved their contract from the national, from Sol to Delta Petroleum? And that should worry the people in the country. And that is a question I really want to hear the answer to it. I would love to hear what comes out of that discussion, because that is something I am watching with bated breath.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I must correct you though. Sol never had a contract. We were under or still bound by the Petro-Carib agreement. Sol provided storage for under this agreement for Petro-Carib, but they moved it from Petro-Carib to Delta without even any public tender. But I don't know. It's a government-to-government agreement, so I don't know if Sean Richards had that authority to just move it like that. But you're
and the Venezuelans have been such a good friend to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis.
True. And we even owe the Venezuelans money.
Right. I mean, almost, Ambassador, almost every country in the region practically owed the Venezuelans money.
Yes.
Now, to come back a little bit at home, I raised a point today on a program here and this, and after raising the point, a caller would consider himself, because one of the things that has happened over the years, and I want to address the point I raised earlier today, the non-nationals who reside in this country and why they will vote for Dr. Harris, and I will say that unequivocally. When you look at the breaking of the Constitution of St. Kitts, people got married in this country, legally married, yes, and they were denied their right to their passport. Yes? They were denied their right to their passport. A government of the day felt it proper and right to break their own constitutional oath that they made to themselves and to the country, that once you became, you were married, upon marriage, you would receive your passport. And I want to remind the non-national community of that important thing. I also want to remind the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis of why they should vote for Dr. Harris. When you look at the social protection, the Timothy-led administration is the only administration in this region, and I will say it loudly, the only administration in this region that as the pandemic commenced, there was social buffers put in place to protect the people. You always used to say, Ambassador, saving lives while balancing livelihood.
Yep.
Now, this was the only administration who had perfected this. So if we are going to talk, we must talk in a way that is balanced. And a lot of the time, when you listen to the conversation in the wider community and country at large, we are getting conversations that are purely biased. How are the young people going to look up to us, look up to older people, if all we can do is have conversations that are just skewed in one particular direction? If we ask, was the country going through a political turmoil? No. Was the country going through any social turmoil? No. Was the country going through any economic turmoil? No. So if we use all those indicators, we then look at it and see that the country is running very good and still is running very good.
Okay.
And this is why the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, residents, non-nationals, whatever you be, need to take into deep consideration on the 5th of August when you go into that polling station, think about who you want, who is qualified to lead, because it is clear, and I will say it without a doubt, that we know that the others cannot lead. We know that. We have seen the man demonstrated his ability over the 7 years. He was interrupted. So it is only fair to give him a chance to finish the job that the people entrusted him with.
Okay.
And with that said, I will yield.
Thank you very much for your intervention, my dear brother. And we go straight back to the lines. I want to thank this caller for holding the caller. Thank you very much. Are you still there? Are you there, caller?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you for holding them.
Thank you. Good evening. How are you doing this evening?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
I am well. Thank you for asking. I want to shout out my mom. I know she's watching. She watch every Monday night, every Thursday night. So bless up, Netta. Love you, Mom. The reason for my call is to voice a couple of concerns. I realize a lot of people want these positions for the benefits. People must also realize that there's workers that want the position for the enjoyment of the work. They like to wake up early, they like to go in, and they like to do what has to be done. And I say all of that to say, is Harris again? Is Harris going to get up? Is Harris going to go in, clock in on time, stay late, and get the job done? Okay?
Thank you very much for your input, short and to the point. And I want to say, before I forget tonight, wonderful or bright hello to my wonderful folks in Montserrat and, of course, across there in Nevis as well. And I want to say good night to Eshel. Eshel, I'm sure she's listening. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yes, I can call back. It's my husband calling. What I'm saying, or what I want to say is, the second concern I have is that there's a lot of citizens that are unfortunately not able to be on the island. I wish that they would put in place a system where there are absentee ballots. I would like to vote for who I feel will run the country properly, but I cannot get there. So I'm saying that maybe the next person in power should look into that. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, you're foreign or you're not from here, but my mother and father born and raised in that land. I was raised in that land. So I have right just like anyone else that was born there. And I also feel like, not because I don't live there, I also carry the burdens of the decisions that government make for paying taxes, or having businesses that run in that country. So I feel like people should be open-minded to everyone that carries that flag proudly of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And that's all I have to say this evening, Mr. Patches.
Thank you very much. Well, you said quite a lot. Very thought-provoking there. The absentee ballot, that's something I'm sure would come with our maturity as a country, and in time, I'm sure, with our electoral reform, issues like that one you raise would come to the fore. But for right now, my Straight Talk family, it's now 17 past the 9 o'clock hour. In the event you have just joined me and you joined me late, it's decision time. And there always comes a time in our lives when we all must make an important decision. So too in a country, and at this time in our country, there has come a time at which an important decision must be taken by all of us as a people. The last several months, all sorts of rumors abound in our beloved land of St. Kitts and Nevis. And these rumors were peddled, the propaganda were peddled by two misleaders mainly, Sean Richards and Mark Brantley. And we must at some time punish them for bringing the country into this state. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Better night to you. Hello, Patches, how are you night going?
I am peaceful, my dear brother, Ras. I am.
We thank for life, man. We thank for life. Man, me here burning some nice ganja up in a monkey hillside,
You're moving around, man.
Man, now I'm moving. I'm playing this world, I'm revolutionary. So revolutionary people have to stay moving and observe things in the mistakes. So we thank for life to the Almighty, because without the Creator, we cannot move to the earth.
Okay, what's on your mind tonight, my brother?
Let me just hear you making a dialogue them to the public of St. Kitts and Nevis and even to the wider world, that there is a imminent world. And I hear the Prime Minister make a statement to bring forth the election date and making the nomination date. So I just like to say, I see that respect flow and love go to the heart of all man, woman, and children. That people go within the context that not to have no animosity, but have the level of love showing wherever they go within the voting tally or wherever they support the parties. So we can able to have a safer and a calmer election going forward. And I would like to say this here totally to the people of the world. Let us bring justice as it brings equality. So we can see that we don't have these kind of mess that we are facing in the world and even in our local affairs. Let us really put ourselves on the battlefield that we say we so care about the young generation, because they are suffering for the lack of knowledge. Political party cannot save it, and I will not fear to say so. We need equal rights and justice to the eye of the Almighty as we are in the eyes of men. Until we have that, we are not ready to rise our people out of the political and economical power that are facing us today. And you know that too, Brother Patrick. You know that.
So what?
That's what you all are trying to
So we don't have equal rights and justice in St. Kitts and Nevis? That's what you're saying?
That's all. And now you are pulling up ganja still and fighting people who smoking ganja still. You're just telling people on there. And people still getting fight by political parties still. You all ain't really serious on your Brother Patrick. Come on.
I'm asking, I'm trying
to... on a level.
Yeah, but
they keep it on a level that you can have a good program showing you, because I'm not coming here to bash you all. I'm just showing you that there is problem around the eyes of St. Kitts and Nevis, and we really need to address it. Just recently, a young man just come out of prison and went to some kind of function, and he gets his life taken out of the iris of life. That's how we're trying to say, and we say we have law and order on here. And then we still have women who are being persecuted by predators and being raped and being held at gunpoint. We are really serious when we're watching that. We're going to the context of our social well-being. Come on, people. If I saw you go in St. Kitts and Nevis, and I say I'm ready to move on. I am ready to, I ain't went to college and I'm glad, because I'm a revolutionary and I'm not here to bow to no Babylon system, but I respect people. I respect people because they're human beings. But anyone, I put in it straight out tonight, any man or woman or child try to disrespect Ras Aya, Samandi, Latundi, Naskala, Reed, there will be trouble in this world. But we say we don't want no war. We just need equal rights and justice So let us come around the table. Let us discuss the matters and that is confronting our generation. Because we don't say until we educate the people properly and stop this muzzle of trying to make it political power, we are not ready to rise our people. And you can rascal, let me address it, you know. We have rascals who trying to bid for political office soon to be. Let me say that. Are you socializing with the people? Are you ready to rise the people? We have to know to have community, social orientation until we're ready to build our nation. That's how we can move for the people to feed Africa. Africa must be fit for the world to be fit. Brother Patrick, may your night go safe. May the love of the Almighty guide you with the discussion tonight. And I hope the people then come to have a sense of urgency and awareness to open up them eyes and not be fooled by political power. Because if that is the way, well, wake up the people then, because then they'll have 20 years and he'll fail St. Kitts and Nevis. And Timothy have 7 years and fail St. Kitts and Nevis. Our economical stability and realizing the people is failing the people then. But blessed Lord, my brethren, you have a safe night with the love of the Almighty. And I don't fear mankind because only the Almighty can move I and I. So blessed Jordan to every man, woman and child. But remember what we say, no fear I, because I and I are liberators. Blessed love.
Blessed love, my dear brother. And you've advanced the view. And your view, that's no doubt what Straight Talk is all about. Your view is that there's no equal rights and justice in the land. But I'm sure many would say that we are a country of laws, and the rule of law prevails in our country, and the law is very pellucid. Caller, you're live.
This is my second do. There are laws in every country. Every man has to respect and obey the laws. That is another reason, some reason why Dr. Harris is the fittest man and the best man to lead this country as a Prime Minister. Dr. Harris has never taken no blood money from no leader of no other country. And he hasn't taken any drugs money from any leader of any other country. And Dr. Harris can give an account of the country's money. Dr. Harris don't have anybody hiding out there, can't come home with money that belongs to the country. Dr. Harris never sell no passport as a leader of the country. That's transparency Dr. Harris has, and he wouldn't do that. He ain't selling no passport for $1 million. When the sugar industry closed, Dr. Harris paid the sugar workers them the rest that was owed to them. When the man who closed it say he don't pay them all the money, he don't have no more money for them. And he told John Paul in a meeting where I was too. John Paul asked, what about the money? Insult John Paul, tell John Paul, if you want more money, you will have to sell John Paul. Dr. Harris ain't disrespect nobody like that and tell them that. Dr. Harris went out and he get money to pay the people them so that they can be comfortable and fix their house that was left half done. And Dr. Harris ain't get no passport and hide it and say he ain't get it. And the judge got to tell them what they got to say. Dr. Harris has led this country here for the little 7 years that he has. He tried his best to show what he has done since he took up the range of leadership in this country. So when all of them come in attacking Dr. Harris, let us say what Dr. Harris do. They say a lot of stupidness that Dr. Harris ain't do. But let us say what he do. And let them who criticize it, let us say what they do. Those who were there and did nothing, they shock their responsibility. And now we have a deputy prime minister following good policy to the prime minister, and he's getting the work done. They find no kind of fault and coming on with this, but they have to talk. But I could tell them, Pam, you don't flat like a balloon when you bust. And Dr. Douglas, you stay there. You ignore the people in your constituency. Talk about that there, in there, and so therefore they out there they will teach you a lesson. Patrick, I don't need it for tonight. Thank you very much. Good night, Nabo. You're punching hard. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. We go straight back to the lines. Caller, you're live.
Good night, Patrick. This is Dumpling Harris speaking.
How are you,
You can
Dumpling
hear me
Harris?
good now?
Yes, I don't hear that feedback. Thank God.
Thank God. Okay. Patrick, according to put in me two pence, right?
Uh-huh.
10 people, right? The up and down and the calling me name and saying how I am grateful. Patrick, I am not ungrateful. Me, Dumpling is not ungrateful. Tom carry me to Mr. Harris. Say it's 3 party. Right? Patrick, 2020. Somebody called me from government house and they told me what's going on. You understand me? And I called my representative, Mr. Powell, 39 times he didn't answer his phone. After I come on your show and I start to talk and say that they want to overthrow the government. You understand? I meet them now in December when they had the last House Assembly. I hear rumor. I ask, what's really going on with all you and the Prime Minister? They said, oh, nothing going on. People just saying this and people saying that and all kind of thing. But Patrick, I didn't know something going on. Me, Dumpling here, didn't know something going on. You understand? Sometime last year, I see Shani. I think Shani was with them. But Mr. Byron was there, and Mr. Hamilton, and somebody else. And then I start to talk to Sean about with the house where they give me the auto. You hear? Sean telling Mr. Hamilton, he said, Hammy, this is the second time I hear Dumpling with it. Hamilton turned to me like this and he tell me he gonna deal with it and wherever. Mr. Byron did not say nothing because Mr. Byron ain't getting it. And that was done. When you look this year, May or June or something, they start with this thing about how the hand toy and all kind of thing. Long time, the other vagabond didn't meet me when he win and I seen the boy Sebastian play. So I telling him about with the condition of the house up here and he come telling me, well, oh, you know, I can't do not my hand toy. I said, but man, come begging the money. Man, begging you the money. You understand? Because they like to call me and say, but I got beg, Mr. Hamilton, Mr. Harris, brother, just come out of bank and give me check. This woman was asked to on Central Street, just coming here up and down. And I don't beg the man no money. You understand? I seen them there for years, Patrick, because Patrick, you remember which development bank be? Richard Keynes had the place there in a board house. Remember there was the office before he got Princess Street?
Yeah, long time ago, Dumpling, yes.
That's what I'm telling you, since in the 70s come down.
Oh, you been sitting there?
You understand? He had his business there. And then after Pam win the election, he went across Princess Street. And then the Moody Bank come down by the old Scotch House and bring it up there where it is. Me accustomed to going to go sit down, because the breeze street there. I can't go across there, go sit down, they can call me him up and down, go beg and beg. Patrick, let me tell you, nobody gonna tell me Dumpling with Johnny Manos, who walked by the lead wagon, which you know, my father was a longshoreman, and Jenny Manos, Griffin, that they vote for Mr. Harris. I'm voting for Mr. Harris. I could tell me don't vote for him. And next thing again, man, like catches the up and criticizing about the hospital dirty. The hospital ain't dirty. The hospital clean, Patches. Patches, you there, you got oxygen and all the bed. Patches, you call what you say. Nurse, when you can see in three or four of them, especially them kind of Chinese people, they come in. The hospital always full of doctors and nurses. And they want to use me doctor. Me doctor and say a lot of things about him. But you know what happened? They the Indian man them up there. But the abuse put on them out and Dr. Wilkerson. And Dr. Wilkerson come from a poor family. He come from a poor family. And the girl boy on church, she met and she doing good up there. The girl doing good work up the hospital. Patches, let me tell you here. Patches, I went up the hospital there and I get so pissed off and I hear some of them on the radio talking about the hospital this and the hospital that. I woke up in the hospital in the 80s. The labor turned over to Simmons. And from the time we reached up there, the roof used to leak. I think all that the guys are paying from water. We have to back up water in all the wards them. And then when Dr. Douglas said he going to be straight at the art, I said the man don't ring him. We should not got none of them the old hospital. He got rooms up there where they're doing therapy and all kind of thing in the same hospital. Build a new big hospital.
Okay.
Put on a new kitchen. Then put on a kitchen. Then put on a laundry. The same old dirty moxie place. And then they're talking about how one put it, the blame and Akila them. Who in the claim and Akila them and his Douglas leave it here? If he leave it here, I remember when I went up there when they said they're building the hospital, they had me down there on the crazy wall with the crazy people say about medical down there with crazy people. So you have to try to get a little sleeping, did they? Because in the crazy people them coming around you. So they had a noise for one of them.
I got you, Dumpling. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
One of them, the hospital working good. Okay. When we go back clinical, Unity going, you know.
Yes.
Unity going hands down.
PLP is Unity.
Dumpling Harris.
Okay, Dumpling Harris. Thanks for your input. Dumpling Harris, never out of words. It's now 26 minutes before the 10 o'clock hour. We are all in a festive mood still, and everybody is talking. It was a real festive mood in Tabernacle last night, and we all had an opportunity to remind ourselves and remind everyone that election is on the 5th of August, Election Day. Caller, you're live.
Yeah, Patches, me again. Good night.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, Patches, I hear the Prime Minister with some good promises when he gets back to his government. And that is so good. Because, Patches, nothing could be when a man no hijab. The reason why the Prime Minister saying all these things, he know what he could do. He know what money the country got in. I hear him talk about like children who just born. And when they come 18 years, that they look at insurance. I mean, like something to go to university when they reach 18 years and so. And that is so good to go college. Mm-hmm. That is so good. And you know what I want him to do? I want him to come up with an idea when you get back here, a plan, when you get back in. Like people who went foreign and so on, and then contribute to the social. In spite of whatever, try to do something for them. Like a little pension or something. Because people like the Dutch lady who went away and contributed to the social security, every day she bank based in the Prime Minister and different radio talk show. So I just wanted to do something for people like she, who showing that he got a heart and he got a mind to help people. Because that's what the man is. That's the nature of the man. To reach out to the needy and the one who really, really, really want.
Okay, we seem to have lost that caller, Mr. Politics. But again, we were discussing the upcoming elections. And we asked the question, because in every government, there must be a leader. It's like on a ship, like I said before. let's call St. Kitts Nevis the ship of state. And every ship needs a captain. And by now, I've recognized that most of us have already made up in our minds who will be the best captain, who will be the best political leader. Caller, you're live.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Just a little information. What's the latest on the former Prime Minister and that situation now in London?
I have no information whatsoever on that, sir.
So that is still yet to be resolved.
I would imagine so. I have absolutely no information on that. I can try and see if I can find anything on it.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to buy a brand new shovel to start digging.
What?
I guess I have to buy a brand new shovel to start digging up some information.
Brand new shovel, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Sorry, couldn't respond to that question about the issue with Douglas when he was apparently intercepted by the British Customs, I think it was, or the British police at London Heathrow Airport, and it was alleged that some amount of money was confiscated that was in his possession. Caller, would you turn your equipment down? Caller, could you turn your equipment down? Or turn your radio down? Hello, caller?
Hey, Mr. Patrick, good night.
The Bible man, you're the guilty one of that noise in the phone? How are you doing?
Well,
are you still...
I just was telling myself about listen, but
you couldn't resist it.
I said to myself, let me voice you up.
You're a good man. Thank you for that.
I said, you went bad the Thursday night on the stage.
Yes.
Very bad. And yesterday now, you come over, you went down terrible.
That's my other home, Tabernacle.
Tabernacle.
Yes.
So, Patrick, you don't have to really worry about people, you know. You don't have to worry about people. Other than say it again, that you don't have to worry. If God created the whole universe, Mr. Patrick.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And God, promotion neither come from the east nor the west.
Not the south.
Promotion come from above.
From God.
God set up and bring down.
Puts down, yes.
And I'm saying this. I am saying to you that they can't stop it. They cannot stop it. A man in number 5, a man frightens the tailor. God, he don't know what's going to happen to him. Only satisfying people got, he had to work with satisfying people. They never work with nobody else. Because them satisfying people tell him that, we're finished with you. He can't do nobody else nothing. Right? And I know satisfying people. Let me tell you something, you know. Satisfying is somebody else there. Also, the young people in them down there. When they see the young people them just come up now, they see the young, they not Mark Williams. Well, if the young people them, when you are my representative, Sam can't do one thing. And all easy. So I'm sorry for you. And so it's a reason that I don't know why they start to really crucify the man. Because you see, when you believe in God and God alone, you're the persecution, eh? And so that's the situation with.
Okay.
And nobody could stop Mr. Harry from nobody at all.
Okay, my brother. Thanks for your
all the best.
Thanks for your input, my dear brother. I want to thank you, my dear brother, the Bible man, and we go straight back to the lines at 18 before 10 o'clock. Caller, you're live.
Good night.
Good night,
Hello?
my dear. Have you gone
Yes.
back? I thought you went. I thought you went back home. I haven't heard you for some time.
I mean, it's long time calling and I just can't get in. Why?
I'm so sorry.
Anyway,
I'm so sorry.
Anyway, amen to dumpling. Because me too. They give us the Prime Minister why they want us to leave him. For what? Harris again.
Harris again.
Mr. Liburd, they were saying ring the bell. Now the bell ring, they still vex. What they coming back to do? After 20 years, nothing to do. Whether they're young or they're old. Maybe they want to go gastric or Bermuda. And the Prime Minister giving away money, let him give money. Let them go to get some. They did not work no way. Let them go get what they want. And let him. They give away. Because he could manage money while he got plenty to give out.
True.
No. How is the Governor General? All Saturday in the market, they're saying, is the Prime Minister making sick? They don't say, is the gang of sick? Mr. Liburd, you say don't call nobody name, but you just call name sometime. But Chris say me is a political prostitute, but I want to tell him it's me and his mother.
Please.
I want the Prime Minister...
please.
The Prime Minister listen to threat, they try in mine.
Yeah,
Good night. He really the best. Mr. Liburd don't say, tell them stop abuse me.
Please,
you want to back who you want to back. Mr. Liburd just call people name too. You want to back who you want to back. Why they abusing me? Me out of all? See you. Have a good night.
Have a good night as well. Sounds like Alice in Wonderland. That's not the Alice in Wonderland I know, right? I haven't heard that level of abuse and abusing people's mother, really, you know. But let's try to avoid that. But we agree. We all agree that we're not going back to the days of Douglas, of public death, high crime, and violence. Call you live.
I perfect love my brother. How you not going, my friend?
A peaceful
ambassador.
Peaceful, my brother. Peaceful. Yours?
I'm thankful. I'm still in the St. Peter's region, you know. Yeah, man. I'm just here in the mystic of the mountain here. Raising up and watching the heavenly bodies and watching how the house setting up and so. Well, look, what you call back to the program is something tickling in meditation and mystically. Now, I would like to ask, the history of St. Kitts and Nevis is comprised of 2 million years establishment. You hear me just say? Now, from since that time to now, in 2022, we are in the 21st century, as we said. Can we as a people really align that we are missing the code of respect to one another? Because the last caller just showed it out, you know, that people is disrespecting and calling all kind of thing. But me just see your last call and the other day, me and she had a nice talk. And even though she don't she will bash at me. Me respect her because the elder me have as. And anyone who trying to disrespect our elders is out of order. You hear me just say? So you see, that is where I say, where is equal rights and justice on here? As we say, we are a society of laws. As a minister, so your system is weak. Until we have equality and justice, we won't have a justice system because the judicial system is co-opted by the Freemasons and the Illuminati. I'm not here to tell them that you all are co-opted by that society. Because the odd fellows who are used to have warn you, who parade around in St. Kitts and Nevis, they have done a lot of damage. And now they have their branch of initiative them now, who have taken up their work of elements. That's why you ask I say, it's time now to wake up our people and wise them out of this slum. If we really serious about social change, equality and justice must hand down. So as the rivers run like through the waters, and I say, stand up for truth and justice. Equality must reign. There is the Almighty who guide our people from our perils and dangers. May and I go say, my brethren, but they can keep it wisely. Don't join the Freemasons. Do not join the Illuminati because they do not have no love for humanity. Blessed night, guidance.
Guidance, my brother. It's decision time. And decision time is the 5th of August 2008. And yes, there always comes a time in our lives when we all must make an important decision. So too in our country, there always comes a time at which an important decision must be taken by our leaders and our people. My Straight Talk family, much propaganda and baseless rumors have been spread all around the world. For example, that Harris wanted 90 more days. What nonsense, my people.
Dr. Harris looking for 90 more days. Tell them we don't need that. I have the love and support of the people.
They all walk like a champion, talk like a champion. They all walk like a champion, talk like a champion.
I am the champion of the people, and the people are my champion. They will give me 5 more years.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I am going to get 5 years, why would I go ask for 90 days? No make no sense. No make no sense.
Why would Harris ask for 90 more days when he can get 5 more years? And what do you think, I ask you tonight, and the general view is that the best person to continue in the leadership of this country is Timothy Sylvester Harris. We asked the question, who is the best captain available to navigate this ship, or who is the best political leader? My Straight Talk family at this point in time. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live.
Timothy.
Hello, caller.
Hi, good night, Patrice.
Yes, good night, my dear.
And how are you, Marsha here?
I am peaceful. I thought for a moment I recognized the voice. my dear family, dear family Marshall.
Yes, Patrice, good night. You was great last night. You was good last night.
Thank you.
I called to commend you highly. You was good as usual. And you know, as I always said, a step of a good man is ordered by the Lord.
Sure.
And you are hard to beat. Whether you're in or out, you're hard to beat. And nobody can touch you in the political arena.
Thank you.
Anyhow, I called to place 3 things on record tonight. Just for the pop is enough to give back Dr. Timothy Harris 5 more years in government. Just for the pop, that's one. Just for the peace program is enough to give back Dr. Harris 5 more years in government. The third one is Dr. Harris is the best prime minister ever touched down in St. Kitts and Nevis. He's a man that loves people. He have a golden heart. He loved the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, and he takes care of his own. I am saying tonight to the whole entire world that to re-elect Dr. Timothy Harris as Prime Minister, and we have the other 7 vibrant candidates from the seven constituency, constituency 1, constituency 2, constituency 3, constituency 4, constituency 5, constituency 6, and constituency 8. I'm asking the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis to vote for them because each one of them have a good package. And I want to highlight constituency number 5, Mr. Stasio Williams, is the best thing for St. Kitts. No lazy representation. He will always show up to work. And guess what? In Sandy Point, he already have his manifesto. I'm asking the general public and those under the sound of my voice to pass by the constituency office in Sandy Point and pick up a manifesto, because I'm proud to say tonight that we are the first SP with the best speak to deliver a manifesto for 2022. Long live PLP, long live Dr. Timothy Harris, and I can say that I am passionately, I am a proud People's Labour Party. I'm proud to say that. Stand tall. I'm not going to follow double. I'm not going to switch, and I'm not going to dip. I am a PLP until God come or till God take me off of the earth. Patrick, to get home safe.
Thank you very much.
I am a PLP, and I will stand proud. I am orange, and I will stick in Orange House.
Thank you.
And I know comes election, the last one, Patrick. All election, I need a one, all 8. I'm not going to settle for not less. All 8. Thank you, Patrick. You have a good night.
Have a good night as well, my dear family. Marshall from Sandy Point. Sean gone, they said. Stasio is on. In Timothy Harris, the poor man in St. Kitts Nevis in particular, everyone did, but the poor man in particular found a friend. And as I said to him last night, I said to my friend Timothy, like the psalmist, blessed is he that considereth the poor. The Lord will deliver him in time of trouble. The Lord will preserve him and keep him alive, and he shall be blessed upon the earth, and thou wilt not deliver him unto the will of his enemies. My people, the general view I'm getting as we wind down tonight's programming is that there is no comparison with Timothy Harris, our accomplished leader. Yes, they vilify him every single day on social media and all sorts of media. Their insidious attempts at his personal destruction never seem to cease. But Timothy Harris, the man, is a good. He's just good. He's been tried, he's been tested. And I always admire the way he has remained focused. The lack of support for the peace initiative will turn us back to those dark days of crime and violence as we experienced under the Douglas Labour Party. Remember that all-time high of 35 homicides under the Douglas Labour Party. But under Harris-led government, after 7 months in 2022, in this year, after 7 months of 2022 so far, the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force has reported 5 homicides. Let's pray and hope it is kept that way. And in the meanwhile, let us commend Commissioner Brandy and his men and women. Let us commend the Defense Force, Major Comrie and his soldiers. They all must be commended. Also, the national, or the minister, I should say, of national security. They have demonstrated leadership. And that's what I mean when I say that leadership matters. When you look at the others vying for leadership, Sean Richards, Sean Richards, under his watch as the minister with responsibility for the UDC, took a Bible in his hand and swore he did not know that a guard hut estimated to cost $50,000 to construct. For some reason, a contract was signed for $227,000. Under Sean Richards, Skelec is bankrupt in under 2 years with him as minister. $31 million in the reserve funds of Skelec have seemed to have just gone poof. Sean Richards must also account for the 3-year contract handed to his friend. He must account for that. My Straight Dog family. Caller, you're live.
Mr. Liburd, me. Them who abusing me, they was not under me 20 years struggle. They was not under me 20 years struggle.
Yeah, but
Prime Minister, look out for me.
Alice, please.
What me I calling nobody name?
No, please. But let me just say something to you. You're somebody I respect, and I respect highly. You do not have to stoop to their level. That's the point I want to make to you.
I want them to hear me.
Yeah, but don't stoop to their level. Come on, you stay at the high level. Don't they go low, you stay high. But go ahead, what's on your mind there? I know you're upset, but don't stoop to their level. Okay?
And the other one will suck out all of labor breath and want more. Tell them don't trouble me. If I'm ungrateful, let me be ungrateful. They ain't know I went through.
Okay.
See you.
Okay, my dear. I always say, like Mark Twain, I'll tell my friends, because you never argue with a fool, because you have to stoop to their level. And if you do, they'll beat you with experience. So, Alice in Wonderland, don't stoop to their level. I understand your pain. I understand your fear. I heard of the abuse that was hurled at you by someone I know very well, and I think it's something he should not be proud of. But it's 9:59. I'm gonna wind down, and I was saying before I went to that call that Sean Richards must also explain to the country how did his friend at Delta Petroleum manage to get a 3-year contract for the supply of fuel for the generation plant, as we call it, the power station, when the government of St. Kitts and Nevis is still a signatory to the Petro-Carib Agreement. And Skelec and the government, Skelec, the sole subscriber of Skelec is the government. So why would he expose the government in this way and breach the contract, the Petro-Carib Agreement? Worse yet, the government owes the Bolivarian Republic, Skelec, owes the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela $16 million for fuel it received. Under the Petro-Carib Agreement, the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela built storage tanks at the power station. What was Sean Richards thinking about when, under his watch, the board of directors that are responsible to him would take such action? Sean Richards could never make and will never be a prime minister in this country. Neither would Mark Brantley. Mark Brantley cannot manage anything. For 5 years he could not, never did. One time, never ever did balance a budget in the Nevis Island Assembly. His last budget was $98 million in deficit, in the red. He has took Nevis to the toilet. That's what Mark Brantley has done. Divisions must wake up. Wake up and understand and see for yourself what's going on. Mark Brantley, imagine, in a time when fuel prices are going up high, escalating, he has told his travel officers in Nevis and has cut their travel allowance by 50%. How on earth can they travel to do their jobs? That's the kind of leader that Mark Brantley is in Nevis. He does not understand leadership. He does not understand management. How can you put him at the helm in this country? To ensure a strong government, Prime Minister Harris has put together a formidable team of capable representatives from every constituency. They call it the Dream Team. I have worked in cabinet with Prime Minister Harris. I have been in cabinet for 5 years with Brantley and Richards. And when I look into the cabinet from the outside, I'm appalled with their behavior. But simply put, Prime Minister Harris is the best. That's the way I'm going to leave it tonight, my Straight Talk family, because that's my story, and I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to change the fact that under Harris, over 3,000 families got their roofs repaired. And I gather and I hope that the PLP will continue into the next term. I'll take this and I'll make this my final call for the night. Caller, I'm out of time, but I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. Can you use it? Hello, caller?
Yes, sir. Good night, my brother Patches.
How are you, my brother?
I thank you. I thank you for your constructivism for tonight. All these difficulties of understanding amongst men tonight and women, you're very constructive. You're truly an ambassador, and we need you to represent St. Kitts continuously. This is Brother Isuru saying, thank you, my brother Patches. We have lived and worked together in our life. I truly appreciate your patience with many difficulties of opinion of others, but you've been constructive and basically understanding to everybody. So patient. You're a man among men.
I am humbled, my brother.
Have a good night.
I'm humbled. Have yourself a good night as well. And that's the way we're going to end it tonight, my Straight Dog family, because my time is done. But I was going to say as well that under Prime Minister Harris, we recovered 800 acres of our patrimony, our land that Douglas swapped for debt. Harris has paid a double salary for the last 5 consecutive years. And we can't say enough about his management of the COVID-19 pandemic. But Harris will go down in history as one of the best prime ministers that we ever had. The last 7 years epitomizes the quality of the man. That's my story for tonight, and I am not going to change it. Just to let you know, my Straight Dog family, of this declaration that was made just last night.
In the name of democracy, in the name of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, declare the date, the big date, for the re-election of the People's Labour Party.
Ring my
Thank you, thank you. In your name of all democracy lovers, I now declare that I have advised His Excellency, the Governor General, earlier this week, that he should prepare for us to go to general elections in St. Kitts and Nevis on Friday the 5th of August 2022. We are ready. We are ready to govern again. We are ready to deliver the stronger, safer, and more secure. My team is ready.
We're ready with the speaker. We're ready with the amplifier. We're ready with the players.
Finally. One other important date. We have set Tuesday, the 26th of July, as nomination day. Tuesday, 26th July, nomination day. And the 5th August, election day. The People's Labour Party shall return victorious to continue the wonderful job on your behalf. God bless you. I love you. I love you.
Well, yes, my Straight Talk family, it was a real festive mood in Tabernacle last night. The 5th day of August 2022 is decision time for the voters of St. Kitts Nevis when we all go to the polls. In the name of democracy, this is what Harris declared last night. The 26th day of July is nomination day. Time to make your decision. Time to determine whether you will put back the best captain available to navigate this ship, or the best political leader to guide us through the political, economic, and social storms, or put simply, to guide us through these difficult times that lie ahead. Why would we change leadership in Dr. Harris, especially at this time, to go back to debt, high public debt, rampant crime? Can we take that gamble? My people, I am of the view that we cannot. That's my word for tonight, and I'm not going to change it. I want to thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight, and as always, I want to thank the many callers for joining me tonight. I want to thank all those on social media, Facebook and YouTube, those on ZIZ Radio, and to remind you, you are the ones who make Straight Talk, and for that reason, I say a good, big thank you. Until we connect on Thursday for another edition of Straight Talk, my family, I say, be good to yourselves and to all whom you meet. And remember remember, my Straight Talk family, that whatever your mind conceive, that we will achieve. We've heard about an agreement with PAM and CCM, and we don't know what is the content of that agreement, but we'll fear not. And to ensure that this does not take us back down the same old road, vote for PLP. Be good to yourselves and all whom we meet. Remember, we are not going back. We are going forward. Backward ever, backward never, forward ever. We're going to keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Thursday.
In the morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give him thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food and loving care, and for my mother's breath of life that's got me here. So whatever my mind conceives, that I will achieve, you better believe. I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on, till I reach the top somehow. Down on my knees, the Lord I kneel and pray, my heart and soul, beg him to take me through each day, my guardian to keep, and my guide, over every step I take, he will preside. So whatever my mind conceives, that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on, till I reach the top somehow. Since God protects me with his love, strong, pure and true, and so sincere, cause my knees I'll always stay to the Lord in prayer. So whatever my mind conceives, I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren